and there's a collective link at the center to move the collective lever. These linkages pass through bell cranks and control tubes to arrive at 3 corresponding servo actuators. Generally speaking, a servo translates commands given to it, and a hydraulic actuator uses hydraulic force to perform work. So, these servo actuators take inputs from pilot controls while adding hydraulic force, since they would otherwise be difficult to move. There are, however, springs extending from actuators to bell crank levers to aid the pilot, should these servo actuators lose power during flight. There's a small reservoir for hydraulic fluid. Here's what these components look like in action. As we pan down into the body of the helicopter, we see 3 corresponding control tubes extending from the back of the cockpit up to the servo actuators. They reside in a control tunnel that sits between the cockpit and the passenger or cargo area. Again, control tubes for longitudinal and lateral pitch are at the sides and take their own inputs. The collective tube is at the center. However, collective input doesn't just affect the center tube. Both side tubes are anchored to the center lever, called a mixer lever. Because collective input moves all 3 tubes together for a seamless, additive result. If we pan back up top while collective commands travel through the system, you can see that all 3 actuators and connected tubes move with collective input. This is how the system adds collective and cyclic together. Finally, let's head into the cockpit and see the origins of this control chain. The pilot sits at the right side. The flight stick, or cyclic, is centered in front of the pilot,